most esteemed panelist.
Yeah, I'm here. I think. Maybe.
You think? Yeah, so I hear you got, or I saw you got your package, parcel, however you want to say it, in the mail today.
Sitting right over with my stack of other comics.
Oh, yeah. Thought I heard somebody trying to come in. You're trying to come in. Somebody try again. I think I was on a different thing, so.
But yeah, it's sitting there right with the other comics that I have stacked up on my workstation. With except for the trading cards and the panels that were sent, the artwork. That is currently in my portfolio bag because it's the only place I can think of that will keep them safe in my current setup.
Somebody's not. I keep thinking I hear somebody trying to get in. Actually, it's not the right tune. Maybe it's somebody getting notification, but yeah.
Just hearing my phone buzz.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Because the Cult of Raven chat is usually dead, and out of nowhere, I'm just getting a bunch of messages from it.
Ah. So yeah, there is Metal's picture of all his stuff that he got. So how surprised were you to get the comic? The physical comic?
I'll be honest, I was pulling things out, I didn't even pay it any mind until I was about to take the picture. I'm like, as I'm taking the picture and looking at everything in the field of view, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to have one of these things.
I figured you're on here a lot, so I figured it didn't cost me much to throw it in with it, you know. So
yeah, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Because I have digital versions of both, I have not opened either yet. They're just kind of sitting there. I've already read them.
Yeah. And it looks like everything got there safely.
Yeah, I was actually talking about that in my kind of like walking vlog that I do today. Yeah. And it's like, man, I don't understand people who are so uptight with the Gemini mailers. The way you did it was fine. It's like, all I care is that the package is sturdy and makes it to me okay. Yeah.
And that's what I usually try to do. Make it sturdy so get to the person okay. I usually, I'm not sure whether you had, I think you might have had the bigger bubbler mail. Was your white or orange, your bubble mailer?
Yeah, it was one of those larger white bubble mailers. Because you put like the two big blackboards in it.
Oh, okay. Because even with the smaller white ones, I put two blackboards in, one on top, one on bottom. I make a comic sandwich.
Yeah, this was, you see that laptop that's sitting there in the picture, which is the one I'm on right now?
Yeah.
The envelope was bigger than that.
Oh, okay. So you had a big envelope. I thought you had like an orange. I thought you would have had the orange one. I thought that might have fit in the orange, that piece of artwork, but I guess not.
I don't know. I just know it was big enough to hold everything.
And of course, Tosspot got his stuff, which is he took a picture. Everybody's starting to get a picture. I never got one from Pixel, but the funny thing is, I accidentally threw the Pixel trainer, the critical snail, in his, and realized just like within about 30 seconds of sealing it up, crap! I put his whole card in him. But he had a good laugh at that, so that was cool. And nobody else as of yet has done pictures. Lorenzo said a little while ago, on his stream. He's gotten them, he just hasn't opened them yet. So I suggested he do an unboxing and put it up on his channel on his stream. So that is, of course, cool. I'm going to be doing some digital coloring tonight, and I should actually be.
I probably should have done. This is not really an unboxing. It's not a box, but a letter opening. I used to do letter openings when people used to send me stuff way back in the day.
No.
But I haven't in a long time.
And what was I going to say? Something. Me and Dillard are up to page 20 on the thumbnails. He came on this morning, and we did another. I did another 4-hour stream. So we got all. We just need to do page 21, 22, and 23.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Let's see. I'm already live, but I just want to be able to share this out. It's nice and easy to do from behind the scenes. You've dabbed in the chat. Oh, no. I'm not going to be digitally coloring. I'm going to be doing my manga. I said manga time, so it means I'm doing my manga, not digitally coloring. Jeez.
Alright, get with your own program.
Yeah! Oh, man. Can't believe I almost did that. Okay. Let's grab the link and we'll share it in Discord.
Evan says the cashier bagged the groceries. I don't know what that means, but I'm assuming it's like one of those like security guard talk, like the roosters in the hen house.
Sounds like it for sure. Okay, so let's see. Let's get this. Back there. I'm gonna give everybody.
He says, and after I paid, I was on my way to make breakfast. Okay, now I don't know if he's actually talking like a story that he started in the middle of, or if he's still on cover talk.
Oh yeah, he's doing a story. I said I liked origin stories and all that because my first issues seem to be origin stories.
I'm not getting online tonight, but I'm just saying hi to everybody.
Okay, you heard my mom. She's saying hi to everybody.
Hello.
My mom, Metal says hi, Mom. Look that she heard me because she's gone. Okay, I'm gonna be back in a second. I gotta find my. Oh, there it is. I don't have to go anywhere actually. Just kidding. This. But Evan started doing a whole thing about because of how my first two scripts are really lengthy, about not a lot of action in them. Well, he'll say he started doing a whole thing of going for groceries and cooking or whatever. I'm not sure exactly. I didn't read the whole chat this morning or earlier this afternoon.
Well, it's actually a part of the canonical lore of X Time is Chaos with the freelancers, is that most of what they end up doing all the time is like doing grocery runs and stuff for old ladies, and I just skip you around to all the interesting jobs.
Kung Fu Kitty. that's what I was wondering where I did a drawing for sort of a bit of a turnaround for this one character. I gotta scan it into. I know I did some recent drawings of these characters that I was sort of giving to John today while he was doing it. I've been had to think quick. Do I return to the grocery store or do I go without spinach? I had to think quick. For my name was not Mick. See. I'm not. I know. I think I know. So, what have you been doing all day?
Define all day. You know me. My day only even started like a few hours ago, but comparatively speaking. Like, I'm approaching what I guess for most people would be brunch time. Maybe close to lunch.
Okay, what did you do after you got up? I guess for you
well, when I got up, like I said, the first thing I saw that was the parcel was sitting there on my workstation.
Ah, cool.
Opened that up, obviously, took that picture, headed out, and then I went for my normal walks. I have to, if I don't go for like a walk or a jog or something, I will not be productive at all. I get too restless. And then I came back and started working on. I made some progress on the sprites I need to do. Started penciling some stuff, but also in the background, which I have open, I've been I have like Photoshop sitting there, and I've been kind of like digitally inking this picture of a character that needs to go on the site. So I've kind of been juggling things.
Cool. I watched with some people on the Discord to watch The Boys Season 2, Episode 1. So that was good. Trying to get Snow Drift number 2 completely written. Somehow some pages of it are not in and I don't know where they are, so I gotta rewrite some pages in between different stuff, so it was like, it's weird. Or not weird, but well, I guess weird. Trying to fill in stuff that you had written before, and it's like trying to make it flow with the story that's already over half written.
I like how Evan's just like sticking to telling the story without any interaction or anything like that.
Yeah.
I half expect this to just be his harem manga. Like it's completely mundane except for like all the actual girl related parts.
Are you seeing whether you can get him to go off script right now?
Off script? No, I want to get into his head and see what he's going to be doing. And see if he stands a chance. I mean, so far he's been talking about spinach a lot.
I think he's Popeye the Sailor Man.
What's funny is Popeye's kind of a reverse harem when you think about it, because most of the plots are between him and Bluto fighting over olive oil.
Well, would that be a reverse harem with only two of them?
Technically, with the Japanese genre of harem, you can have it with as little as two people. There just has to be a personality conflict between suitors for the main character, or a main character.
So Archie to them might be considered a harem manga?
Yeah. Very much.
Okay, that's intriguing.
Though, usually the standard is that you have like 3 or 4 just because it's more interesting.
The cashier rang up his spinach, placing the lone spinach on the conveyor belt. Evan decided never to go home again, because he did not want to be alone. He would constantly seek out companionship. If only for a minute.
You know, this could actually turn into a good superhero origin, though. Or not even hero, a good super villain origin. Right? Everything just needs to be normal, and then one thing needs to go wrong. Kind of like the family. But you remember there was that Powerpuff Girl episode, and there was like the guy who was like this mundane worker dad, and finally he like just snapped and decided, I got it, I'm going to hold the professor and the Powerpuff Girls hostage. And then he went to jail, and when he got out, he thought, you know what, I'm rehabilitated, I'm going to live a normal life. And there was a follow-up episode where, like, in the time that he'd been in jail, his entire family made supervillain outfits too, and they decided they were going to have revenge on the Powerpuff Girls. Eat your peas, Professor. Like a ray gun pointing at his head.
He paid for his spinach and he went on about his merry way. But was his name Faye? Restream bot. Nothing Rick writes will ever be great. Thanks, John. Until it goes restreambot.youtube till it draws. Nothing Rick will write will ever be great.
Oh, he just wanted to, with the formatting, feel like he was a part of all this. Instead of actually going over to the Discord and responding from there.
Yeah, I know. Oh, the end. Evan has finally returned home for his needed breakfast. But in truth, it was owned. Yeah. But in truth, was it? Yes, this was merely the origin story of breakfast. Okay. Good morning. I don't think when breakfast was invented there was any grocery stores or cashiers or.
Well, first you'd have to define what does inventing breakfast mean. Or maybe nobody invented breakfast. Maybe breakfast was discovered.
Technically, breakfast is just what we, at least here we
Break
North
fast.
we here in North America and all that we call eating in the morning.
Yeah, whatever breaks your fast after sleeping. So that's why I'm saying, did anybody invent breakfast, or was it discovered, like conceptually? And should we punish whoever discovered brunch?
Oh, I actually meant to do this earlier. Actually, we got 6 people here. I would like, maybe I should wait till we have 10. I got a package in the mail today. So, I was thinking of opening it on stream here. Late and gay. So should I wait for more people to come in, John, or should I just open it now? Or what do you think, Metal?
I say do it now, but I also say you shouldn't listen to me.
Yes, I did, Evan. For what I read of it, I enjoyed it. What is this package? Well, it is from Amazon. It's black.
I'm assuming it's the coloring book.
It's got this COR. I'm not sure what that stands for.
Oh yeah, that's definitely the coloring book.
Yes, it is.
Where it says it's black, it must be that wiener I sent you. Bully says it's furry yiffing material. Well, I don't know. Maybe Shinobi Raccoon's pages.
Well, we got Evan in it right here. Should I color Evan live?
No, you should color my cat live.
Avery, there's mine. Shinobi Raccoons. Todd Mulrooney's a crying lantern. Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
Well, that's a nice one, Metal.
Oh yeah, the X Diamond's Chaos one with them running.
Yeah. And I like Elric's. Some of these I haven't seen. Why?
Oh, like that ghost one? You definitely haven't seen that one.
No. A Crystal. Ooh, nice Gary Shipman one. Oh, that's pretty neat. Michael.
Oh yeah, I didn't want to have to draw for. I did have another one planned, but I'm like, oh yeah, I already have like a Halloween card that I did last year. I'm just gonna take the line art from it and slap it in there.
Yeah. Nighthawk Warrior. Another one by Crystal. Another one by Elric. Like that. I like John's too, obviously. Ooh, that's a nice one by James Robinson. Shinobi. Fly Fox Pro.
I drew an evil jack-o'-lantern. Or jack-in-a-box. Not jack-o'-lantern.
Okay, I don't know how that's exactly Halloweenish, but I guess it could be.
I don't know. John approved it. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Somebody dressed up as Hero. So John is sending pics of it's weird. George Gatsis, another Shinobi. Another one by me.
Yeah, don't even begin to wonder what that's supposed to be by Pixel Trainer.
It's a skull attached to a machine for some reason. Another John. Another Fly Fox. Another Shinobi. I think me, John, and Shinobi put the most into this.
Yeah, John has the most pictures at 20% of the whole book.
Uh-huh. How many?
Yeah,
pictures?
he actually had one more picture than you.
Okay. Oh, crap, I didn't take that stuff out. So you can see through the handle. Didn't do my...
Yeah, I cleaned up a lot of the line art when it came to like specs and stuff. I'm like, nah, I'm not erasing anybody's lines. That was on them.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Timothy said that skull was actually cool. And I guess we got a blank page at the end.
Yeah, probably just for printing purposes.
Yeah.
Even things out or whatever, I don't know. I mean, it was 40 interior pages. I don't know why they would have a blank one, but whatever, they're weird.
So there is the Cult of Ravens Spectacular 2020 coloring book. For those that have not yet seen it. I will be coloring something in there.
And it takes a very little time to print and ship it, so if you get it now, you'll definitely have it before Halloween.
Yeah.
Order some for any niece or nephew or child you want to emotionally scar.
I got mine in less than a week, so. I think I ordered it Thursday.
Yeah, John found out the hard way. That I found this out too when it was ordering my own book. That if you get an author copy, it takes longer for you to get it than it does for consumers to buy a normal copy.
Yeah. Timothy says he still needs to get a copy. Yeah. So it's only $5.50. And when I got this, they gave me a free month of Amazon Prime, so I ended up not paying the delivery fee. And I actually had some money left over from the card that was on there. So I paid under the $7 for it in total. The 7 and change. So it was a real good deal. And I might get you to send me the digital copy of the pages. Because I'm probably only gonna just color the one page in here. I'd like
the one page for the contest that you have to color it in the book to qualify for.
Yeah, I want to keep it in pretty pristine condition. And hello. Oh yeah, I never said hello to Bullet. Sorry. Hey Elric. Hey Elric, you just missed me go on wrapping this and going through it. Gotta find out. What is it? Got another book around here that I was doing art in for contest or for the manga. I did it up on my character Piper in a more anime look. Yeah, I got the book. What is the cover? Just something John drew up. With a skull, a mouse, some fruit, some raven, and some...
Yeah, if you actually turn the cover, the very first image in the book that you can color is the uncolored version of the cover.
Ulrich says, is Dillard here? I just signed up for the book club.
He was here. If you scroll up, I don't know if he's still watching or not.
Yeah, I think that's why he said, is he still here? Okay, I'll be back in a sec. I gotta find another one of my things.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to ever tell if Dillard's around. He's got eyes everywhere, but often he's not paying attention to them. Oh, I've been alright, Elric. I've been alright. Just working on stuff. Oh yeah, Elric. Canadian Shield Chan is now a resident of my belongings.
And I'm back. I can't find it, so I'm just gonna have to do the best I can. Or I might redraw my character Piper up more anime-ish again. What's up, Ulrich? True mine. I do have the same Twitter. I do have Twitter. Same name. Oh, John, yeah. I was looking for those characters that I was looking for today when I sent you them. I forgot that I had, although they're not scanned in yet, I forgot I had just recently done turnarounds for them. Timothy says, you got a copy of the Canadian Shield medal? Or did you read that already?
Oh, I don't think I read that. I keep jumping back and forth between the screen and Photoshop.
Yeah. But yes, he did. For all his time and all that coming on, co-hosting and all that. Those look awful. They would have been no help. Well, they're a little bit better than the ones that I showed you, weren't they? John?
Rick, I'm going to pirate you a How to Draw Manga book and just send you the PDF.
Will you be able to do that? Were you gonna? I guess you're gonna send that to my email.
Yeah.
Or you.
I'll have to do it later, though, obviously.
Yeah. Do you got any? Well, if not, you've got access to one of my the Google things, right? Google Drive.
I don't know if I have access. I could just put it to Google Drive and send you the link, though.
Yeah. Just because I'm not sure whether, depending on how big the PDF is, whether it'll go through.
Oh, well, the way Gmail works now, which I primarily use Gmail, if it's above the file size, they just make it a drive file anyway.
Okay. He says the exact same. Is Metal on CBS Radio? No, I don't think. Mal says John did win the contest. Cross, this is my expression when I see your waifus. Waifu apple size. Waifu. Oh, I'm not sure. Well, there's one.
It's pronounced waifu. Waifu.
Mallet saying we'll be hearing more breakfast. No, he finished the origins of breakfast earlier, Mallet, in the stream. You'll have to go back up and read it.
Or go to the Discord since it's all logged there.
Yeah. It was enchanting. Or chat in smaller sentences. This is what. Oh no, Metal is a weeboo, says,
I resent that. I'm a man of culture.
Damn it, boy. Timothy's okay. Refined taste, says Bullet. I am a man of culture as well, says Ulrich. Timothy says, whatever you need to tell yourself.
Do not listen to Ulrich. There is no cup requirement for women in harem manga.
Oh, I believe I would have known that already.
It's like C through H cups are needed for harem manga. No, they're not. Especially when like it's also super common to have at least like one flat-chested character.
Although I'm not sure whether I'd recognize much after D, anyways. For cups sizes. Timothy says they don't discriminate on cups. Ulrich says goodbye. Bullet says personal flotation devices.
Plus, especially being in Japan, right? Like, how many people in Japan have cup sizes above C?
That are now.
No, according to data from the Japanese bra companies, it does seem that the average is tending towards C.
Ulrich says, I did not say goodbye. Evan did. Oh, did I say Ulrich, not Evan? Sorry. Thing. Mallet says, I would, Rick, for Rick, I would come only to chastise your rating techniques. I am not rating anybody or anything.
Not all around me, but yeah, Bullet, I actually have seen graphs and charts for Japanese bra sizes. There's actually a study done using the data from some of the bra companies, and it seems that the trend is the Japanese bust size has been going up over the last couple decades.
It's all the foreign women coming in and... Is that
probably not. Though maybe there's an influence of fast food that might be increasing the general fat content due to the sugar in the diet. There could be selective breeding that happened generations ago when Western influence had started to hit Japan. And now that they're old enough, you're starting to see the results of that. There's a bunch of different things that could have been the result of it.
I was going to say all the stuff that we put in our meat, our foods, to make things bigger. Maybe it's getting into some people in Japan. Timothy says they need more fast food stat. Milk tank supremacy says bullet. Let's see. My new manga battle. My new battle manga. And I work like the sound of that. Whitney would be proud, you say.
Yeah, one of the coolest things about the influence of fast food on Japan, because it's only been within the last few decades anyway, because obviously it had to have been post-World War that anything even started going over there, and then it took a while for any corporation to set foot. So maybe as of like the 80s and on, fast food dominance, and maybe late 70s, but mostly 80s and on. And Kentucky Fried Chicken has become like Christmas culturally, and there's even a thing called Kentucky Fried Christmas. That's how they were like selling it over there. And now like half of all inner city Japanese families eat Kentucky Fried Chicken for Christmas.
Let's see.
Oh yeah, Japan's McDonald's great too, and the way they treat Ronald, right? Because you know how Ronald McDonald has kind of become. I don't know how much in Canada, but in America, he's kind of like a national icon, but he's kind of become like an international icon too.
Yeah, he's definitely famous. I don't think they're using him as much anymore in their ads as they used to.
Yeah, but he is like a superstar in Japan. Like everybody loves Ronald McDonald, even to the point that like a few years ago, there was a Japanese modeling company that was helping McDonald's with their ads, and they had both a male and female model that was supposed to be like Ronald McDonald's children helping with the advertising, and they had like colored clothing and like red wigs and stuff like that, but they looked human otherwise. They weren't clownified. It was a pretty cool campaign. And Bullet's also right. Japan's Kit Kat game is on point, especially like the green tea Kit Kats and stuff like that.
No. Boo! Green Kit Kat. Boo! Disavow! Disavow that.
Oh, you don't like the green tea Kit Kats?
No. They're not the worst thing I've ever had, but somebody gave it to me. I might eat it, but I'm not gonna. I bought it once for my my channel, my other channel for the whatchamacallit. Which mean, yeah, I gotta put it up another. I got a snack video that I gotta put up over there.
Bullet says you are incredibly incorrect, Rick.
I guess he likes them.
Elric's like, what about the sake ones? I actually have not had a sake Kit Kat yet. I would try it though, since obviously there's no actual alcohol and it's just supposed to be taking the flavor of sake. But that's at the same time, it's like people who drink non-alcoholic beer. It's like, what's the point? You're drinking something that's kind of nasty without even getting the bonus effect from it. And now it says there's only one good Kit Kat. Is it the strawberry flavor one? Which Timothy just brought up as I was saying that. Because the strawberry Kit Kats are, like, bomb.
Yeah, I don't mind the strawberry ones. Can't get a good angle here, what I want. He says no, the original. I agree. Mallet, thumbs up. Right now, Walmart is selling pumpkin pie Kit Kats. Ooh, now that might be interesting.
Maybe. I don't like pumpkin. That's weird. Like, everybody likes pumpkin too. Like, I recognize it's a very popular thing, and it's probably, like, I don't know, maybe objectively good, but I do not care for pumpkin in the slightest. To me, it tastes like wax.
What did I say wrong, Timothy? I said the strawberry ones were good. I only said the green tea ones are bad. Those are the only ones that they're the only Kit Kats that I've had that I've not been really fond of.
I mean wax, I mean like hardcore candle wax or Crayola crayons. That's where the pumpkin tastes like to me.
Jimmy P says, well, you're forgiven. Like I said, I wouldn't go out and buy a green tea Kit Kat. But if somebody gave it to me to eat, I'd most likely eat it.
That's how I am with like most popular foods.
Then during Christmas last year, Wintergreen had the sweet cinnamon Kit Kats. They were good. Oh, I would like to try those.
Oh no, Japan also has like a cookie and cream Kit Kat. Those are pretty good. And they have both a chocolate chip cookie and like an Oreo style cookie and cream Kit Kat. White chocolate Kit Kats are pretty good too. But white chocolate's not really chocolate, and I like almost anything that's got white chocolate in it. Like the white chocolate Reese's with the just normal peanut butter in the inside is pretty good too.
Yeah, I like white chocolate Kit Kat or Kit Kat as well. I like pretty much anything with chocolate as well.
Oh, Candace got the cookie and cream Kit Kats. Shoot, I was gonna try to have to order those internationally if they didn't have them at the Hong Kong market here. I haven't been in a while to check, but
yeah, well,
you guys are lucky.
Oh, Bullet said we got the cookies and cream ones. I'm not sure whether I've seen them.
Yeah, that's what I want. I just want to order like a big variety pack because I've got an international market that's got a lot of like Japanese treats in it. It's mostly like an Asian market, right? They call it the Hong Kong market. It's primarily Chinese food and stuff, but they've got aisles for all kinds of stuff, and at the very end they have like the snack section, and it's mostly Japanese snacks because the Japanese outdo everybody when it comes to snacks. But the problem is you don't know what they're going to have, so they're going to have a bunch of interesting things that you can pick from. You just may not have the one thing you're looking for.
Mallet says the Huff and Kong market.
The Donkey Kong market. Would you shop at a place called the Donkey Kong market? They would sell us bananas.
We got a place here in Hamilton called Nations. Just opened up a couple years ago. They got a lot of around the different world stuff. I think probably a lot of Asian stuff.
Yeah, well, Elric, because he says Japan started the Kit Kat weird flavor craze, and the rest of the world is just catching up. It's not just the Kit Kats, though. Like, they've been doing it with snacks for a long time. Like, we have all our weird chip flavors now, but they've been doing that. You know, like even way back in the 90s. They've got different flavors of everything.
They're willing to try experiment. We've had quite a few weird flavors here in Canada. Although it was a no-name brand, and I haven't seen it for like 20 years. They actually had a mustard flavored chips.
There's barrels being thrown at me. Then no, I would not meddle talking about the Donkey Kong market. But that would be half the fun, you know? Like, once you're in the store, you're fine. You just have to get past the barrels to get inside.
Do you have to climb up all those ladders to get inside, too?
Yeah, and avoid, like, little baby crocodiles biting at you.
Yeah.
I wonder what they do with the baby crocodiles after they grow up. Yeah, their drinks are fine too. The thing is, though, in general, right, because we look at snacks in a different way, Japan has, like, a large variety of flavors of the few snacks they like, and that's what packs their shelves, but we have a higher variety of snacks than Japan does. Because Japan doesn't like a lot of the food stuff that we do, right? So they don't have, like, a huge variety of different chip brands, they just have, like, a bunch of flavors of the same chip brands. Same with, like, they like some sweets, but they're not really huge into, like, the really fatty and oily treats that we eat.
Albert says, I like
their snackage other than candy is healthy for you.
Yeah, Albert says, I like the fried green tomato potato chips. I've never had that. I wouldn't mind trying. Okay, so now we have to have him roll into the fall. Which I don't think that is shown properly.
But their cookies are where it's at. I think my favorite cookie, everybody knows about this by now, but I remember back in, like, I think it was maybe the late 90s, early aughts, when they started bringing them over to my area. But the famous Japanese cookie, Pocky, which is kind of like just a cracker in a stick shape with icing covering it.
Alex says they were a limited run. Well, that's a shame.
And Walmart carries Pocky, so like everybody's had it by now. But they only really carry maybe 1 to 3 flavors at a time. It'll be like they always have chocolate. Maybe they'll also have strawberry, and sometimes they'll have like either green tea or cookies and cream. But they won't ever carry both. But when you go to like an Asian market, you'll see there's like 15 flavors of Pocky that you can pick from.
Alex says, I watch videos of people who live in Japan. Their gas station stores have so much cool food than any 7-Eleven. I know of Pocky. I eat them sometimes. Bullet says, I also get salted duck eggs at the Asian market. Ugh.
That actually doesn't sound that bad. Again, that's something that's probably kind of healthy for you, and like I said, other than like the few like big sugar-loaded sweet things that they like, which I say sugar-loaded, their versions of things are sweet without having as much sugar as we put over here. Japan is a lot healthier with their snacks. They go hardcore with making sure that they don't get fat.
Yeah, the only ones who eat all the snacks are the sumo wrestlers.
Sumo wrestlers actually don't really snack, though, right? They do have to put on a lot of weight, but because they're athletes, they have to be very particular and careful about how they put that weight on.
Yeah, they have a certain concoction that they eat all the time. I know that.
And they mostly carbo load. In like Asia, it's really popular to eat rice, which is something that you burn off really fast. You don't get fat from eating rice. And this is why many people in Asia are skinny, because they're working their rice off right away. But sumo wrestlers tend to eat large quantities of bread, just like loaves of it, or large quantities of noodles. Yeah. They carbo load like crazy.
Yeah, I should go back to eating a lot of rice.
But they also have to eat like a lot of animal fat because, it's Timmy saying there's a lot of muscle underneath there. You don't notice how much actual muscle they have underneath that fat. That's why sumo wrestlers, depending on their size and what bracket they're in, can weigh anywhere between 300 pounds up to the more record-breaking 600 and 700 pounds.
Yeah, I was obviously joking about the sumo wrestlers. I know they're big, but they've got a lot of muscle. It's just not fat.
Yeah, and they tend to be taller than the average population over there too, right? Like, not everybody goes to become a sumo wrestler. You kind of like figure out, oh, I'm built for this, so that's the career I'm going to go into. Your average sumo wrestler is between 5'10" and 6 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually did like a lot of extra research when I was developing the character of Mitsuo Samo, aka Mr. Sumo.
Let me guess, he's a sumo wrestler.
Yeah, but if you read his bio, it actually makes sense. He kind of was fated to get into that life because he was having that name before he even became a sumo wrestler. The guy used to be in like a color gang, which made him drop out of school. And bread's terrible for you. Most of our modern bread is, especially because like you can't even go to wheat because our wheat has kind of been destroyed. But it's not the worst thing for you. It's not that bad. It's the overconsumption of it. Or obviously, if you have some type of gluten allergy, it's bad. But most people don't.
Also, the thing is, our modern bread has something taken out of it that was, I forget what exactly, and it's taken out more just so to preserve it, because, like hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, they had to make the bread daily, because, otherwise it would go bad pretty fast.
Yeah. In a day or I tend to eat a lot of like really farmy and less processed breads. I really like rye, but even the rye from the store is not as good as it used to be. You have to go like either make it yourself or get it from someone else.
No.
But you can, like, if you make bread well, you can live off of it without even getting fat or having bad health. In Asia, specifically, going back to talking about, and a lot of them aren't fat. Like, how many fat Asians do you know? Right? Bread is a very popular midday meal where sometimes, if you don't have time to stop, people will just eat, like, a small single-serving loaf of bread. Sometimes with meat put into it and stuff like that. Buns, as they call them, like pork buns, are very popular. But you can just get small loaves of bread as well. But all these breads are made to order, right? Like they're cooked right before people eat them, and then they get eaten within the hours that they're cooked.
Let's see. Bullet says he usually eats meat, chicken, fish with a side. Howard says, oh yeah, gluten-free diet fad, despite people who actually have Cecilia. Whatever. People know what I mean, or what he means. And Timothy's, yep.
And really, you just need to be eating based on your activity, right? So if you're not a super active person, then yeah, you probably should cut off the carbs, because the benefit to carbs, which is that's all bread is, right, is sugar. Like a manifestable form that you can shove into your mouth. Carbs are quick energy, right, to help get you through parts of the day. That's why lunch is usually a carbo-loaded meal. It's to help you power through the rest of the day, but you actually have to burn it off. So if you're like sedentary, if you're not very active, yeah, you probably should be cutting off as much carbs as possible. As opposed to like proteins, which are like more long-term, more maintenance-based things. You should probably always have protein for breakfast. It'll get you through most of the day alone. You don't even have to eat as much carbs if you eat proteins during your breakfast time. You just really got to know what you're doing. Back when I would work out more like consistently for martial arts and stuff, I would be carbo loading all the time. Even during college, I was averaging up to about 9,000 calories a day.
I had to do something with that head. I think I actually made him too big compared to her.
Yeah, and Alex says because of 2,000 calories a day, I guess he means recommendation was based off of a hardworking life back in the day when we didn't have food ready on hand. So yeah, I mean, if you're especially in the fields, if you're in labor or something, you do need to really pour it in, and of course, have some type of protein with lunch too. If you're like, say, a construction worker or working in the farm, but especially if you're slugging through the day, those quick carbohydrate calories will give you that boost needed to finish off. One of the biggest problems, though, and I think everybody knows this by now, and it was mostly I think the 70s, maybe it started in the 50s, and it continued 50s, 60s, but it was mostly the 70s where it hit the peak, where the sugar companies were lying to people and saying that fat makes you fat, which is not true at all. Fat, which you usually eat with your protein, is our preferred form of energy. Your body even burns its own fat for energy when you're low on nutrients. That's all it is. You're storing energy, right? And then they're trying to say fat makes you fat to try to take heat off the fact that all this sugar was starting to make people fat and they could sell more sugar to people.
Yeah, that's probably why everybody likes a lot of the fat that's on animals, is because it's stored nutrients, stored energy.
Oh yeah, I almost never trim the fat. I like it trimmed if the person doesn't know how to cook it, but if you know what you're doing, the fat can be one of the best parts of the whole meal. But even my recommendation, if you need just a quick burst of energy, try not to eat bread, right? If you can avoid it. Bread's handy because you can store it, right? You don't have to cook it before eating it. but if you have time to cook or have time to prepare something for later, just make like some quick noodles or rice, something that your body can process really fast. Or also, like alternatively, a type of energy that burns even faster and may not be the best if you're a laborer, but if you're sedentary, it actually works fine. Go out and grab a piece of fruit instead, like a plum or something. Just stored sugar for the seeds that are supposed to be inside of it. And like I said, as a laborer, stored carbs and grains are going to give you more energy, and it's slower to dissolve. But if you just need a wake up in the middle of like an office day, a plum or an orange or an apple or something will do you a better job because you don't have to worry about burning that off.
Yeah. Ulrich saying metal speaks the truth and some nice pork belly. Okay, where am I? I gotta straighten my room out again. So I just had.
What about a breakfast of Lego, bacon, and coffee? Why aren't you eating Lego?
You might have meant
plastic?
Egos.
Like an Eggo waffle?
Yeah.
Carbs. So again, it's not ideal for breakfast, but it'll get you running through the morning just like the coffee will. Yeah, Eggo waffle, okay.
You know, Lego my ego.
Yeah. I was like, why would you be eating plastic bricks for breakfast? Yeah, waffles are fine if you just need something quick, I guess. It's the same thing, it's just carbs. The bacon's good though, it's from the fat and the protein in it. That'll get you through most of your day. That's that long-term build-up that's going to ramp through. You definitely want that. Coffee's okay, again. It's coffee's better if you're not overloading it with sugar. If you need some type of thing, cream is probably better as long as you're not like lactose, which most people aren't. And most people wouldn't be if they drank more when they were younger. Push lactose out of their diets, and people are becoming lactose intolerant at early ages now. But it's an okay breakfast if you just need a quick start. I would recommend, what you can also do really quick, if you're frying up that bacon, you probably have time to fry up an egg. Probably better for you than the waffle. I eat a lot of waffles, but again, I tend to carb load. So I haven't really eaten waffles recently. I haven't even thought about that.
Metal says
it's only been a couple months.
He eats what he wants when he wants.
He says because they don't drink a lot of milk, they are lactose intolerant. Well, it's because they don't drink it when they're young, right? So they never build up their tolerance to it. So you're increasing the odds that you might be lactose intolerant later in life. In fact, they were doing a study on people, and it turns out that the vast majority of people in this growing age of lactose intolerance were either not breastfed or had reduced breastfeeding time as a child. So they have no tolerance for lactose. But also, if you start looking at, there's different types of lactose too, right? If you look at why the milk was racist thing that came up not too long ago, and why there's certain areas like Africa and stuff like that where people are higher intolerance of lactose, they come from cultures and societies where drinking animal milk is not a common thing, especially as a kid. So a lot of them do not have this tolerance. Now, even if you do drink a lot as a kid, there's still random chance, genetics and stuff that you might develop an intolerance later in life. But we're seeing a huge spike in it compared to previous generations, and that is one of the presumed explanations why.
Yeah, presumed. So that doesn't mean they necessarily know. And then another thing we're seeing a lot of too is the nut allergies.
Yeah, a lot of nut allergies are popping up too. And you can't know for sure. A lot of it has to be presumed because there's no way to control experiments for this, right? All we can see is trends and correlations and stuff like that. And we do think a lot of it's not due to not early exposure. Another reason, though, could also be the lack of natural selection because society's too good. A lot of people with these allergies that some of them would have just died off at an early age are being preserved because we have ways of like saving people from allergic reactions and stuff like that. Or necessarily with lactose because people with lactose have gas, so it makes you unlikely to breed with somebody because nobody wants to be around the gassiness. Because we have ways of dealing with this, these people are living long enough or being in good enough relationships to procreate now that they're passing that gene on to the next generation, and it is spiraling out of control.
Hey, Rebel, how are you?
Oh, my brothers testify.
How you doing?
Good, brothers. What's going on?
And I do like science. I love science, Mallet. Science is good.
Yeah,
I'm just going on a spiel about allergies and stuff like that and why they're developing in modern society.
Okay.
Or possibly why, anyways.
And what are you working on?
If you have something,
what are you working on, Mr. Piper?
Some of the group that I am involved with are doing a harem manga contest, and I'm drawing up my
What now?
harem manga contest.
Well, what's a harem? What's a harem, Rick?
Group of usually a group of girls for a guy.
Now that sounds something like way out of your wheelhouse, brother.
But harem manga is actually well, it's usually a bunch of girls trying to go after one guy, and him not.
I need that in my life. I need to be someone's senpai. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. No, seriously. It's a lonely world out there, Rick.
True, very true. And actually, there were a few harems in the Bible, believe it or not. King Solomon, probably the biggest one of all, almost probably ever.
But that really came to bite him in the butt, didn't it?
Yeah. He had like 700 wives, or 300 or 400 wives, and 700 concubines, one way or the other.
Damn, man, I wouldn't have enough time in the year for all that.
So it adds up to like about 1,000, basically, wives.
You know? Oh, so you don't have to pay attention to them, though, because after a certain point, they keep each other busy.
Right.
And King David had like about 10 wives.
Well, you gotta have a variety, Rick. You know what I'm saying? You gotta sample all the different flavors, you know?
Yeah. So, it's not like the Bible doesn't have it in, so, that's...
Well, plus you can use it as a lesson, right? You could be like, this is a learning of like why you should not do this. You show all the problems.
Just think about all the child alimony he would have to pay with all those divorces, man.
Yeah. Well, thing is, all those women probably wouldn't have been able to divorce. Because, unfortunately, they were probably all given as gifts. Yeah. Especially for Solomon.
Kawaii in the streets. Bullet says, Kawaii in the streets, senpai in the sheets. Yeah, brother. I'm feeling that. I'm sorry to crash your party, Rick. I just saw a link and I thought I'd just jump in for a minute and see what was up.
Oh, no problem. You're always welcome. You see a link, jump in.
And I'm not at work, so like the Meet Me actually works on my home system. It doesn't work with my laptop,
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool that it works at home. Mm. Well, yeah, because you've jumped in before on me, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What is wrong with that, Rick? What is wrong with what? Mallet? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, he was getting bored with the healthy food advice, so yeah, this is probably a lot more interesting for people who don't care about food advice.
Yeah, Howard says, yeah, but in the manga harems, it's usually one guy eventually chooses one of the girls that everyone who reads the manga will not agree with.
Well, who's that one girl that I keep seeing all over the Twitter memes? She's got like the short white hair, the big breasts, and she's always calling this dude senpai.
Uzaki-chan.
Yeah. There we go.
That's Hana Uzaki.
I would have had no idea who that was.
Yeah, she's from the manga/show. Uzaki-chan just wants to hang out.
It's like, I need senpai to notice me.
Well, okay, so that one, it's not even a notice me senpai thing. They have like this lower classman, upperclassman relationship from back in high school, and now they're in college, and she's kind of excited to be going to college with her senpai. But then she found out that he's kind of like a recluse, like an introvert, and she thinks he's like boring and lame. So her entire like arc is just trying to make sure that he's not lame, and he's forcing him to go out to parties and get-togethers and stuff like that.
Howard says that's not a harem. Yeah.
Well, her breasts are big enough that it could constitute as a harem.
Just all on her own.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got more than your fill. You know what I mean? Like,
and her every woman in her family is like that too, because they show that later on.
it's genetics, brother. Genetics.
And because they're Japanese, her mom still looks like she's in her teens.
That's what I like about them Asian girls, man.
Yeah, they look like they're 14 until they're like
and they stay the same age,
once.
Man. Want to see my old face? Oh.
Ulrich says you're not wrong. Big genetics in all the right places.
Right?
Yeah. So how are things going for Niobe?
Yeah,
It's Niobe. I think it's Niobe.
That's all right. You can call him Ryobi, Niobe, Naomi Campbell. It's all good. No, it's fine. We're at 217 backers. 20 days left to go. At this point, I'm not sure what this is in American dollars. It's probably inching up towards 8,000, but it's 10,795 Canadian dollars. So yeah, I mean it's every day we get maybe 2 or 3 more backers.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about crowdfunding is once you start getting past your first week and you're into the second and third, there is sort of like this this off in a sense of like, most people who are excited for it have already sort of backed it. And then, during the middle weeks, a couple of people will sort of trickle in. And then once you get down to your final week and more importantly, probably like your last 3 days, anyone that's kind of put it off or forgotten about it, that's when you'll kind of see like another spike, the second wave, if you will, right? Because people are like, oh, shit, I forgot about this. I got to jump on it, or it's only got 3 days left and I meant to back it and I didn't bother, but now I'm going to, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
No, but I have to correct Rick on every time he mispronounces something. That's just something we do here at the channel, because he does it a lot.
Yeah, I do.
English, Rick, do you speak it?
Not very well. Hey, I never got good marks in it in school, so.
Je ne comprends pas, Rick.
Huh? I know that's French, but.
That means I don't understand in French.
More specifically, I don't comprehend. But yeah, same thing.
Fair enough.
There, Elric, is that good enough for you?
You're doing some major like panel breaking there, brother.
Pardon?
So you got some mega panel breaking over there.
Yeah.
Now this manga head, like on the right hand side with the big eyes, if you gave that big tits, then you have your Yusaki-chan right there.
This one? That's a guy.
Not anymore, it is.
That's this guy.
Mallet's yelling at me now. I don't know why. Just as meddling.
Timothy Olsen says, "Just do what he says, Rick."
In regards
it's a woman.
to...
That's right. Everyone must listen to me. I got the golden key, Rick. You know. No, that's not true. Don't listen to me. Not if you care about your careers.
Career? What is that? I just care about the story.
Yeah, well, you know, some people actually make this thing into like a legitimate way of living. I've yet to do it myself, but I hear tales of it. You know.
Hey, you're starting to come close.
Well, I'm at the point where, and I was just explaining this to my colorist today. You know, because he's like, hey, you know, if this thing really blows up, what about a pay raise? You know what I mean? And so I'm starting to get those sort of questions now. And I'm like, well, you know, I said, let's just see how this does first. And then, like, you know, if this, you know, really does hit a home run and, you know, if we get said publishing deal, you know, that was, you know, dangled in front of us sort of thing, you know, then we can definitely renegotiate, you know, but can't change the structure halfway through. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, because you still gotta, you know, $10,000 Canadian or so. It sounds like a lot, but probably half of that is going to printing the books.
Well, let me break it down for you how this would actually work, right? So let's just say that the campaign ended right now. Today was the 30th day, and we ended with 10,795 Canadian dollars. All right. Already, you're going to lose some of that money due to the Kickstarter fees, right?
Yeah.
And there's an extra fee because we're international. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So say probably that's $795. That's probably gone. That's probably going to go to Kickstarter fees. All right.
Yeah.
Then what you have is what we called drop pledges, because the way that Kickstarter works is that it doesn't charge you until the end of the funding period.
Yeah, and people forget.
Will take your, well, people forget, people don't have money in the account, or people decide at the very last minute, whoa, you know what? I didn't calculate my dollars and cents right. I don't got enough money, so I'm going to cancel my pledge at the very last second, right?
Yeah. And
so you always got to count on losing some money in that regard. So I like to say, like, if you have like 11,000 or 12,000, then realistically, probably what you have is 10,000. You know.
Yeah.
And so there's that. So we'll end up losing money from draw pledges. It happens every time. It's just part of the deal. So you can't, whatever number you see on your screen right now, that you know, even on the 30th day, more than likely that's not going to be your number. Some people, you know, say have a credit card changed right in the middle of the funding period, and then so Kickstarter tries to charge this outdated card and can't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it will try to do that for 2 weeks. And at the end of the 2 weeks, whatever it's collected, and that's what you actually get. Yeah. Right? So then we have to look at the printing and shipping of said comic book.
Yeah.
And so at this stage, we're probably looking at $3,500, maybe $4,000 to print all these out, because there's like tons of covers. And then we got to, get the Gemini mailers. So I got to order 2 or 3 stacks of those. Yeah. And then I have to use Canada Post, which of course is expensive. And Rick, you would know this, to mail out all these packages, right?
Have you got the small business thing that Canada Post offers?
Yeah, but that doesn't give you that big of a discount. I have it. It saves you a little bit on international shipping by a couple of dollars. It's not a lot. You know, I mean, every discount, don't get me wrong, count. So there's another $4,000 gone out of your $10,000, right? And then you have to worry about all the tchotchkes, right? So, like, did you promise prints, stretch goals, buttons, stickers, whatever? You got to make all those, right? So that's going to come out of your fund too. Yeah. All the bags and boards for your comic books, that comes out of your fund too. And whatever hidden or unexpected expenses, and then whatever is left, right, is yours to keep. Now,
unless you've got to pay some colors or whatever,
Well, I pay for all that out of my own pocket, right? Like, as the process goes on, like, I use my 9 to 5 job to sort of pay for that.
Yeah, but in a lot of ways, you're just getting that money back, really, from the campaign.
Right. I'm paying myself back, and sometimes I don't get to pay myself back fully. We're at the point now where I think that it does sort of pay for itself, but barely, right? Even at 10 grand, right, Rick? It's paying for itself, but barely. I'll get that money back. That money will go into my bank account, and that money will then, in turn, be used for me to start working on the next one,
Yeah.
And it's sort of that cycle. Hopefully, eventually, you grow and you get to the point where you're not just breaking even or losing money, but maybe you're actually getting something out of it.
Yeah. Exactly.
So we have Elric here in the chat that says, this is why I like Indiegogo, because when I pay for a comic, it automatically takes my payment, so I don't have to wait or keep in mind that I have to keep some money set aside. That's right. That's sort of the advantage of Indiegogo.
Yeah. And if somebody cancels, it's before, the date, I had a few people cancel.
The reason why Kickstarter does it the way that they do, though, is because let's say that you don't meet your funding period, right? Well, then Kickstarter doesn't have to worry about refunding everyone back their money because they were never charged to begin with, right?
Yeah.
Or let's say that you did meet funding, but someone decides they want out and they want a refund. Well, then now you have to go and manually sort of refund that. It's a double-edged sword depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, for sure. It works to the advantages in some ways and disadvantages in others.
Right.
Although, again, I'm like Elric. I like the fact that it takes it off right away. Like, I remember I backed something on Kickstarter, and I didn't even realize that's how they did it. I thought they were just going to take it off. And then, when the campaign was done, I didn't have the money on the pay-as-you-go credit card.
Yeah, exactly.
And, it's like, oh, crap. And I realized, like, just a little too late. I went and got the money on it, but it was still too late. So it's like, oh, crap.
Yeah, well, it's great if you have faith in the person to complete the campaign. Like Indiegogo system, but Kickstarter, and this is probably why there's a lot more people on Kickstarter in general, that system of only charge if it gets funded is really good for people who don't necessarily have as much faith but still want the product if it does get funded. Well, right? It's less risk on the individual.
I think flexible funding's a bad idea.
I do too.
And I know a buddy, like a real life buddy of mine named Larry Holder, who kind of ran into a little bit of trouble with this. He did a book called Of Time and Space to Lunar Rise. It was on Indiegogo. It never made its funding. It was just sort of like this weird sort of abstract science fiction comic that, was a big ambitious thing on his part, but it never got to fruition. And part of the reason why is that instead of putting it as a fixed goal, he did flexible funding. And I don't even know if he raised half of what he needed, but he got the money. And I told him, you should probably just refund it all, right? But no, he decided not to do that and use it to try and put it towards pages, and that he was going to complete the book on his own dime, okay?
Yeah.
Well, the book is still not completed, you know what I mean? And he tried to crowdfund it twice, And both times I told him that was a bad idea. It's like sometimes, like you just kind of have to count your losses as a loss, So now these people, they back the book. Some of them twice.
Yeah, and you've got
Go ahead,
now you've gotten a bad name because you haven't fulfilled.
Well, it's not even so much the bad name. It's now he's kind of in debt, right? Because he still has to fulfill this book. He's still trying to pay an artist while doing a 9 to 5 job, and where if he just said, all or nothing, he would never have this problem. Or if he just had refunded the money, he would never have this problem. And he could just sort of pay for it on his own and whatever. But it wasn't enough money that he made through Flexible that it was worth keeping. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like
it wasn't going to be enough to cover the costs of his book, because this wasn't like a 24-page comic book that we're talking about. We're talking about he tried to do a 60-page endeavor, and his artist was like $100 a page. It was going to cost him a lot of money, And I think he made something like $1,800 off of the crowdfunding campaign. Well, which is nothing when you got to pay for a 60-page book,
Yeah. That's a lot.
Just to put together the average issue of Niobe, right, with the few covers, the inks and the colors, and the lettering, we're looking at least $6,000.
Yeah.
And so if I get $6,000 back out of my Kickstarter, then I just broken even, Rick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Exactly. I basically just broke even. Technically, I said I wanted to pay the guy that colored for free. The person agreed to color for free. I said I was going to shoot them some money. I haven't yet. Basically because I didn't really end up having the money to shoot them after everything was said and done. I actually, that's probably not completely true. I think I ended up giving 100 or 200 to myself Canadian. So, over a little bit of time, I'm going to shoot that person some money, out of my
Timothy Olsen in your chat, Rick, he says, "Oh, thank God, a few people convinced me to end my old campaign and refund everyone, and I listened." Yeah. You don't want to take the money and run, or promise that you're going to deliver something in the future and you're unable to,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have a failed Kickstarter on my belt for a story I was going to do, and I might redo it sometime later on when things are better. But I basically paid out of my own pocket for the pages to be made for the preview, because you got to have something to show. And basically everything was going to be paid out of the Kickstarter after that. Didn't make it. And I was just glad that it was fixed funding. It's like, well, I don't owe anybody anything.
That's right.
Because I already paid for it. So, no harm, no foul. Maybe we'll just do this again at some later date.
Well, yeah, you would still have the work. You still have the, everything that you bought and paid for. I mean, you might be out a few dollars, but at least no one else is out. No one feels like they got ripped off or taken for a ride or anything like that.
Yeah, the artist got paid. I had a letterer do it real quick because I wasn't as experienced with lettering at the time. They got paid too. Mm-hmm. Everything's on good terms. So.
Yeah.
So is this book complete?
No. I only was able to even afford 3 sample images. I couldn't even get to the 5, which probably would have helped more, because you usually want to have at least 5 for this stuff. And this was way back in just before the holiday season of 2017. Then I did this, is even before most of the big CG stuff happened.
Right.
And no, it was just failed campaign.
I have one under my belt. Not all my campaigns were successful. I have one that failed, but it failed because I pulled it halfway through. I canceled it. And that was for Niobe number 2. When I first ran Niobe number 2, I went through a breakup with a girl who was actually sort of like the Niobe cosplayer at the time. And my head wasn't in the space, And because I wasn't out there promoting it and bragging it up and pushing it, I was just kind of in my broken heart state. And there was a lot of local controversy surrounding our breakup. People are on her side, people are on my side. And at that time, that made up a bulk of our backers. We're like locals. It's changed since then. But at that time, it was a lot of local Canadians. And so, people were sort of picking sides between the two of us and stuff. And so I just canceled the campaign so no one would get charged, because I knew that we weren't going to make funding. And if we had made funding, we were going to barely make funding. Right? I'm like, well, that's not good enough for me. And then I canceled it. I waited 2 months. My head was back on straight. Then I relaunched it again. And then, of course, we nailed it. So
Yeah.
But if you go on Kickstarter, it will show you that I have one sort of canceled campaign. It'll be in the list.
Yeah. Did I try... Well, I know both the 2 times that I went on Kickstarter, it did fun, but that's neither. That wasn't that bad. But my Indiegogo one funded. I did a Kickstarter after the last time I did Indiegogo just to see what would happen. But I didn't really promote, didn't go around places trying to promote too much the Kickstarter. So that's probably why it didn't fund. I was only going for a 500 goal on Kickstarter, 500 American, so about 700 Canadian.
Would have been enough though, Rick, to print it and ship it? Would that have covered it though? Because this is the thing that I advise people when you set your goal. Make sure you have enough to cover your basics.
Well, like I said, the one for Indiegogo had funded, so I had that was enough to print up the books and all that. So they would have been just it would have given me a few extra bucks. Would have been easy to ship. I don't know how many through that, say 20 books or whatever, would have cost me an extra maybe $100 to ship. But it would have given me that much money. Because you got to remember, I got $2,000, over $2,000 American. Well, take away all the junk. I got just under $2,000 American. So from Indiegogo, so that was enough to print out books.
But that's not a bad start. The first Niobe number 1 only did 2,400 Canadian, right? So that's not even $2,000 American,
Yeah.
And we were able to make our start that way, brother. So that's good.
Yeah, and like I did as on Kickstarter on thing, I did a fixed goal because that way, if I didn't make it, things don't happen. And I printed up.
That's usually how it goes, brother. Well, that's right.
That way, I didn't end up, in the bag or whatever, through doing it. I printed up a few extra copies of the Canadian Shield, so now I have them to sell, on my website or whatever. Try and get them to comic book stores and stuff like that in the area.
Yeah, it's always good to have a
tip a co-host.
Right? No, it's always good to have like a little bit of an overprint. Like you'll even hear the Frogman talk about overprint your books, and he's not wrong. And the reason why you do that is just for a couple of the reasons you mentioned. It's like nice to have a few on hand to shops, sell privately, or put up on a web store. Like for instance, we have the Gumroad store for Niobe. I started that up a few months ago. It's brought in an extra $1,000 that I didn't have before, right? Just getting rid of my older stock,
Yeah.
That would have just sat around and sort of collected dust. And then, the other thing about the overstock is, let's say, for me, who does 2 separate campaigns for the same book, it's nice to have like that extra stock that I've already paid for that I can use for like my secondary Indiegogo campaign and send out instead of having to print a bunch more books. I may still have to print some books, but I won't have to print as much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Another reason why I printed some extra. Hopefully on the next campaign, I get new people that haven't got the Canadian Shield one, and they want it. And now I can add it on for, a little bit cheaper than what, the original people paid for it. But,
Yeah, well, some people will print only exactly what they need because, in this industry, let's be honest, we're trying to, save as much as we can. Sometimes we have to nickel and dime it. And I've done it, only print it what I needed.
Yeah.
And then, when you do that, though, you always get people like, hey, man, I missed it on the Kickstarter. How do I buy your book? Can I just PayPal you some money and you send me one out? And you got, I got nothing to send to you, man.
Yeah. And then another reason to print at least a few extra is if anything happens. Well, I was going to say, if anything happens in the mail, damaged copies and all that,
Yeah, and I'll tell you this: I had one copy of Niobe number 1 get lost in my last round of mailing. Right, it never showed up to whoever's house, and I didn't have any left, so I had to go to the printer and have them make up like an extra copy of the book. You know what I mean?
And instead of costing you the $3 that it normally costs you to print it off with doing the major print, it costs you like $60 or something like that.
Well, no, I mean I had it done locally. Like the people that print Niobe #1, they're local. Like I go through a different company in the States now, but it was easy to get the #1 print. It was just sort of a pain, I had to like drive over town, talk to them, wait a few days, tell a buddy, no, don't worry, it's on its way, and then I had to pay like another $12 to ship it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'm just making up figures. I didn't know exactly how much, But you got to put out all that extra expense when you don't have the extras. It's bad enough you got to put out the extra shipping, but if you got to put out the extra cost of printing it, waiting for it to get in, and all that, that's a pain in the ass too.
Yeah, take care of your shipping. I mean, the more secure your package is. My brother always says, he works for a shipping company. He's like, treat your package like it's going to go through a war. Make sure it can survive being bounced around quite a bit, and you should be okay. We have Mallet, CNC Works here. He says I just got like a fucking virus pop up here. Sold some more plaques on eBay. Yes, for me. Yes, sir. Yes, for you, brother. Good.
Yeah.
Get that money, man.
Yeah, we'll say nut plaques or whatever. Yeah, you got to make sure. No, I was gonna say metal just got mine in the mail, and did I do a good job back it metal? Would you say?
Yeah, you did an alright job. It seemed pretty secure. It wasn't like the traditional method that people send things, but it felt secure enough to me.
As long as it arrived not damaged, then you're good.
Yeah, I put mine in bubble mailers, usually the plastic bubble mailers. That way they're rain and that doesn't do anything. And then I go to Dollarama and grab some foam board, cut 2 pieces, the size of what needs that go in the envelope.
You did exactly what I did with Niobe #1. Exactly what I did. Because I didn't want to cut the cardboard because it was a pain in the ass, so I bought all these fucking foam boards. Right? And that's how I did it. The only issue with the foam boards is that they can bend and break easy. And so, like some people did have a couple of dinged up books,
usually when I put it in. Usually, it's very tight going into there, so it's hard to bend or break it.
That's what she said.
And I put 2 pieces in. I sandwiched everything in between 2 pieces of foam board. So it ends up more secure that way.
So I'll give you the secret, though. Probably from the amount that you paid for your envelopes and your boards, you probably could have gotten Geminis for the same price. Yeah,
probably. Well, I know I got 2 different sizes of envelopes. Really big ones, and some ones that just fit the comic, basically, the basic size of comic.
Yeah.
And I needed to send artwork, so I got ones like 18 by 20 or something like that, or 18 by 19. And those were, for the 2 boxes of them, the big ones I got 50 envelopes, and the smaller ones I got 100. I paid $110 with taxes.
Right. So there's an eBay seller where I get my Geminis from. They're in Canada, right? They're actually in Brampton, Ontario. Yeah. I don't know how close Brampton is to you.
It's fairly close.
They do free shipping on these Geminis, Rick, right?
Oh, okay.
And yeah. And so I had and I'm in New Brunswick, which is a fair trek from Ontario. So basically $115, it was $100 plus your taxes, right?
Yeah.
Then they were dropped off right on my porch. So $100 for 100 of them,
Yeah, and the great thing about where I got these envelopes, the place is in Hamilton, so I just went and picked them up locally.
Yeah.
So no.
But what I'm saying is, if I sent you the link and you got your Geminis, you would probably have them within a couple of days, and it would only cost you $100, right? And you would have 100 of them.
Yeah. Well, that's not too bad then.
Yeah, I'll send you the link and you can check it out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I got. Like you said, and I've got envelopes left over from both of those boxes. Lots of envelopes.
Yeah, I still have some Geminis left over too. I might have 15 Geminis left over. I have to order 2 stacks now for this next campaign. Easy. Yeah. I have 217 backers, so let's just say it ended there. About 30 to 40 of those are digital.
Yeah.
So I'll probably about 180 or so Gemini mailers. So I need to at least order 2 stacks now.
Yeah.
Where before I the one. But
yeah, I might end up. I'm not sure what I'll do for my next campaign, whether I'll get Gemini's or whatever.
Well, listen, man. I know it may sound like that might cost me $50 more, bro. But when you use them, right, they're so easy to fold and flap, and tape up, and then you just and it saves you a tremendous amount of time.
Yeah, and I did spend like $50 plus tax on the foam board too. Although I got foam board left over too, so. Mm-hmm. I went into Dollarama and I bought I bought a whole box of the foam board. It had been open, but nobody had taken any out. I counted it with how many it said, and I didn't even use all that. So I thought I was going to use all that for a second. I thought, oh crap, do I even have enough foam board? And I just used over half of it. So so. Yeah, the Geminis could definitely be worth it. They might save me money. I'm not sure which one.
They are worth it. They save you if you're gonna measure your time in money, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
because it takes a lot of time to cut out those cardboards and boards and make sure they're the right size, and you have to tape your comic book in the middle of them and then jam those things into a fucking envelope, and you know.
Well, I didn't tape them in. I squished them in. And then you push them into the thing together, into the envelope. And for some of it was a pain in the ass because, like I said, I cut it like pretty much just the right size within a couple millimeters. So it's like, get in there.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find a link for you now because if I don't find it now, I'm going to forget about it and you'll never get it. So,
but yeah, it's definitely good to have more options. More options are.
That's right, brother. Options.
Evan says you just save money on car insurance by switching to decaf.
Right?
Well, that's good, Evan. We're glad you save money on your decaf. Well, I mean, on your car insurance.
That's probably true, though, like, in the long term. Because, they give you better rates for not getting into accidents, and people who aren't wired are far less likely to get into accidents.
Bullet says he does like this Evan.
I know I got the email here somewhere.
And Evan says yes about something.
Yes, yes, yes. Reminds me of like Bryan Danielson from my wrestling.
Oh, the yes was to probably Mallet. Evan, what is the next story? Can Xylo be involved? That's what the yes was for. And Evan says, does Xylo have an origin story yet?
Let's see. eBay.
eBay.
I'm trying to find this email because I saved it so I can always go back to it and order more fucking Geminis. So my fucking inbox is cluttered.
And you have no idea what the company's called, eh?
No, I don't. But it's bugging me now because I need it for myself because I got to order some soon.
Yeah. I can believe it.
There it is. I got it. Perfect. I'll put a little star by that.
Yeah, you should open it up just for yourself and save it in your favorites of your computer.
Yeah, Bullet says he shops on eBay, BAE, and he saves money on Russian brides.
Fuck, man. Hook a brother up, will ya? Yeah, so right now it's 106.84 Canadian, ships to Canada, and it's shipping is 1 penny, basically free shipping.
Oh,
And it comes by FedEx ground, and so I already know they're reliable because I used them twice. So I'm gonna give you the link, Rick.
okay.
I'm gonna send it to you in the twatter.
On the twatter.
The twatter.
Yeah. Come on, need me a Rick Piper here. There we go. No relation to Rowdy Piper.
Not to my knowledge. Let's see. Heaven says, do you have a promo code for Rick Bullet? So we will...
Yeah, not unless Rick has any tombs in his family.
So you've already done your fulfillment, Rick? Like you got everything out, or what?
There's only one thing that needs to be sent out, and that's from George is going to be sending that out, George Gatsis, and that's the statue for the Canadian Shield, the one-person order.
Oh, nice, brother.
So other than that, everybody's been fulfilled, and it's all.
I would love to actually like see a picture or someone like do a review of the book. Is there anything like that out there? Do you know?
Oh, there's lots of pictures. So we're getting to be lots of pictures on Twitter. You know
That's good, brother. You want to retweet those and share those out?
Oh yeah, I put one up earlier today.
You know, like, I should actually. I don't think I retweeted this. Retweet.
Mallet says, Rick, I need money to buy swag. It's like, Mallet, I think you're barking up the wrong tree.
So, okay, there's one from Tosspot.
Yeah, look at that. That's pretty cool, brother. How does that feel, Rick? How does it feel, man, to hold your own comic book in your hand, man?
Oh, incredible. Incredible.
Right now, is this your first comic book, right?
Yeah, first comic book.
Yeah. So I'll tell you, man, I remember when I got the box of Niobes in, you know what I mean? I cracked open and I was able to hold that sucker in my hand for the very first time. It was like the feeling, like most accomplished feeling, brother, I ever had. Was that like that for you?
Oh, yeah. Like, I did an unboxing live on my channel here. You know,
I'm going to have to go back and watch that. I missed that.
Yeah, that was a few weeks ago. I think it says it's something about live. Exactly the thing. There's another picture. That's medals, and he got these two pieces of Dillard's artwork from the Buckler for free because John gave out artwork for the Buckler free. He sent all the pieces cut up to me, and then I auctioned them off, for lack of a better term.
Well, I'll tell you this, brother.
That's what you did.
What you did wasn't easy, right? What you did here is a long, hard road to get to the point where you actually are able to hold that in your hand. A lot of people attempt this, Rick.
Yeah.
And a lot of people fail at this, right? A lot of people get discouraged halfway through the process. Maybe they don't get funded the first time, so they don't try a second time, this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But now, you can say that your book is out there. It's in people's hands.
Yeah.
Good on you, brother. I mean, seriously, good job.
Here's another one, sketchbook. My sketchbook 340. Actually, let me retweet that.
Oh, Rick, you don't just automatically retweet when you see your book in somebody's picture?
I don't know why I didn't, but and this is
No, share those up, brother. Share those up, because what this does, it shows that one, you fulfill, and two, that you appreciate the backers and you acknowledge them by sharing out the pictures. You know what I mean? And more people will see this and go, "Oh, hey, maybe I'll get that next time." You know?
Yeah. Well, I always make sure I hit the the heart button for it. Unfortunately, I didn't always hit the retweet. And yesterday, when I was was it yesterday or the day before, when I was doing D Live in the morning for High Noon, they featured me on the main page. I don't think it got me any more followers, but I got featured on the main page of D Live.
Listen, we take whatever we can get, brother.
Yeah. Let's see here. Here's Elric.
No, good job, man.
Here's Elric. He did 2 pictures.
You put your heart and soul into that, and now it's out there, dude.
Yeah. I've contacted some comic book shops around the area, see whether they'll have it in. Hopefully it might be on commission or whatever, consignment. But
have you dropped by your local shop with the book yet?
Not yet. I did send them an email today, so I just gotta get hopefully back to them, or hopefully they gotta get back to me, I should say. I know I should probably go up.
Evan says it's Friday. We are past this spot, just so you know.
Yeah.
Well, Friday for you guys, because you and Evan are the same time zone. Already been Friday for LP for a while now.
About an hour.
And Timmy, who's in my time zone, I think we're both in Texas, is like, no, it's still Thursday, and then Evan immediately deletes the message.
But yeah, it feels great to have a box sitting there with a bunch of my comics in.
We have a Darken Link, and he says hello.
Hey, hello, Darken Link.
Hello, deal.
And we have Evan Hotep. I think he's on Discord. This thing can reach the Discord too. That's fucking cool, man.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Well, not the meet, but the restream.
Yeah. I use Restream. I didn't realize I can just add a Discord on there.
Yeah, if you go into the chat, there's an option that says Discord, and what it'll do is it'll drop a bot into your Discord. You can set up a chat for it, and it'll just relog all the chat in there.
That's cool, man.
And people can talk from it too.
Right.
Well, and
you know what is trending on Twitter? Yeah, me. No, I'm just kidding.
I wish.
If I was trending on Twitter, believe me, probably wouldn't be for anything good.
Yeah, Mallet says he's still waiting for his book, damn it. Well, there's a problem. You haven't paid for one, Mallet.
Ted Danson is fucking trending on Twitter? Sam from Cheers?
Oh, I'm pretty sure that narc is directed at me. Evan always calls me a narc. Cancel Discord. Let me look at this. Oh wait, that's right. I can't. I have to switch to my other accounts. I have my zone set to Japan because its trending is usually just much better than ours.
Really? Okay, I need to check that out.
Yeah, it's like wholesome. It's Japanese stuff instead of like
it's wholesome.
Any North American thing.
Why do I have this vision of lots of anime girls and lollies when I picture trending from Japan?
No, usually maybe it'll be video game news or that Gundam robot that they've got now and stuff like that.
It's a Gundam? He's trending in Japan?
Oh yeah, didn't you see they made a life-size Gundam statue?
It's a Gundam.
No, it's a Gundam. I don't think that's trending.
It's a Gundam. He's like a YouTube fucking star.
No, I don't think he's trending.
He's fucking epic, man. I love It's a Gundam.
Well, it says, did Ted die? No. I thought he said die. Ted died there for a second. Evan says goodbye.
I don't see Discord trending.
Why is this guy saying goodbye forever with this sad face, man?
Just to troll.
Evan, no, that's Evan. Evan's always like that.
Dude, I had like these people show up on my Twitter, not my Twitter, but my Twitch every now and then, right? You know, because Twitch is like the fucking wild west of the internet, as far as like trolls going. Like I've like, you know, one time this guy comes on, he says, "Yeah, I'm having a real bad day. I think I'm gonna fucking off myself. What advice do you have for me?" Like, whoa, brother. Like you don't know if it's serious. Now, I mean, 9 times out of 10, I'm sure it's a fucking troll, but just some weird shit, man. You know?
Yeah. Well, I remember the worst time is that person pretending to give money, and then saying all that, and then saying all that racist crap.
Yeah.
Gmail is trending.
Even Evan is a supporter. Don't make him seem special. Needs Rick.
I didn't.
Well, Evan is special needs, not in like the mentally handicapped way, but he likes the drama and the flair and things to be larger than life. So he has special needs in that regard.
Elric says he's back. His internet went down.
Yeah. Senpai has noticed you, man.
Oh, and something else I got today that I'm not sure whether you'd want to get. The Cult of Raven coloring book.
Ooh, look at that.
It's got art by John Dillard, art by Metal here. I'm not sure whether you know who Avery Butterworth is. Me. Todd Mulrooney, Shinobi Raccoon.
The Shinobi one. There you go. What's wrong with that fucking pumpkin, Todd? Jesus.
Some by Elric. Okay, Yuga in the chat as well.
Yeah.
Some by the new artist for Canadian Shield #2. Gary Shipman. Raggedy Man.
He's nothing but a raggedy man. For Tina Turner from Mad Max?
No? Yeah, the Raggedy Man picture, for those of the people who don't know, is actually the 3 main characters from his webcomic, Relentless.
Nighthawk Warrior, not sure whether you know who he is. More Elric and that. More Shinobi. Jiminy Cricket. Fly Fox Pro.
That's a hell of a lot of detail on that one.
Muttman from Hero, Hiro. George Gatsis. Pixel Trader. I'm not sure whether there's anybody. There's more stuff.
That's cool, man. I didn't realize this was like already made in print.
Yeah,
it's available on Amazon, print on demand.
Yeah, and it's
really
like
cheap.
It's only like $7 Canadian. Around $7.
Damn.
Plus whatever your shipping is, you know.
Yeah.
But it's definitely worth getting.
Well, you guys should come on the stream sometime on my end and like, you know, show off that book. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Mallet says even less in real American money. Yeah, well, the conversion, it's about the same. So.
Yeah, well, the conversion rate's about 25%, give or take a penny or two. But anything that costs $1 in the U.S., we're paying $1.25. So if it's $100, we're paying $125. You know.
Yeah. So
a $60 game, like say like a PlayStation 4 game for $60 in the US, like a full price game, it's $79.99 before taxes here in Canada. You know.
Yeah, so maybe it's a little bit more than over the conversion, but still, it's it's not too bad, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it is, I'm not sure, but it's worth getting, you know. And John's actually got a contest going on for it at the moment.
Does he?
Yes, you color one of the page. You got to buy the book, color one of the pages, send them a picture, and you October 31st or just after, they're going to be doing a drawing or whatever. I'm not sure exactly. And the winner's going to get a $50 Best Buy gift card.
Damn, right on. Once in a while I can color something nice. Not digitally, but I had a set of Copic markers that I was playing around with and stuff.
Yeah, so you have to do it not digitally, you have to do it traditionally, coloring.
So, Dark and Link says Americans are complaining that their games are getting more and more expensive. Indeed. Yet we as Canadians always had to deal with that. That's true, brother. You can color more than one page, says Elric.
Yeah, you can do more than one entry if you want.
Speaking of John Diller, he did an awesome Niobe fan piece. You guys had pointed that out to me last time I was on, but then I saw it get colored, and I was just like, "Whoa, fuck!"
I haven't seen the colored version yet.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's sick. Like it's that alone could have been a cover. Like oh my god, it was good. Now she's not a smoker, but she's having a smoke in the picture, and I was just like, "Whoa, Niobe fucking like John told me he said she's like it's Niobe but grungy Niobe." You know what I mean?
Like full punk rock.
Yeah. It was cool though. It was really cool, man. And I loved like how he had like all your guys' names like on the wall in the background and shit.
Oh, that's because he didn't tag me in this one. That's why I didn't see it.
Oh, you got it? Can you show
that looks
it?
real nice.
Can you show it, Metal?
Yeah, right.
I'll pull it up. Let me open it in a new tab. Let me find my browser.
Like John is now officially on my hit list of like go-to sort of artists. I got like a list of people that I'll contact when I need something done, or like I got an idea for a print or a cover. Like he's officially like on my list now.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
And I think he's doing.
Yeah, there we go.
I think he might be doing a recolor to it too. Let me pin that.
Click on
like how
there we go. Because every time we talk, it disappears for a second.
Cult of Raven poster came out really well. Yeah, all the random details came out really, really well.
The metal right there, you see that?
Yeah. Everybody's names and stuff. There's the cigarette, like even the spark on it, how it glows.
I mean, if you scroll down a little further, like he added in like this studded leather glove and shit, man. It was just like bad.
Yeah.
Like there, this thing that was cool.
Everything came out really well.
Mallet says, "Do you need any handcrafted CNC products?" Yeah, he does some good.
What the hell is it?
He does some good.
Is that what I don't even know what CNC means. So
I believe it stands for computer numerical control. So what that means is that he has like a computer with robotics. He programs what it's supposed to look like using like 3D modeling, and then sets that up to his computers, and then it like drills and cuts everything for him, very precise.
Yeah, he's done a lot of good stuff.
Let's see. Evan says, "What do you think Dillard is? Some kind of psychotic stalker sitting in stream chats waiting to strike?" That's exactly what I think he is.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I've done streams where there's like X amount of people watching, and only so many of them will chat. And out of nowhere, John will pipe up with something. He's like, "Oh man, how long has he been watching?"
Though I believe that's a self-own at Evan, because he said only a psychopath would do that, and Evan will sometimes just be like, he's always listening to everything. He'll just be lurking in the chat, even if he's like at work, he'll be listening to it, and then if like he gets brought up, he'll just start like talking.
He just recently did this. This is a product he just recently did for somebody. It's the shape of Wisconsin, and it's a cribbage board.
Okay. I never played cribbage, man.
I haven't either, but
I watched 90-year-olds play it. I always thought it was like, I'll wait till I'm a senior, then I might get into it. Let's see here. Mallet CNC Works says, "I made a product for a Doug to Naples store." course, Doug Tenaple of Earthworm Jim, and what was the Bigfoot Bill? There we go.
Yeah.
And a ton of projects that nobody even knows about because that guy has his hand in everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, Rick, I can't stop watching the video you sent me, says Dark and Link.
Yeah. I found this one thing of this couple. Well, I'm not sure whether they're an actual couple, but a guy and a girl. They do covers of various theme songs, and they did the Teen Titans. So, and she was dressed. No, just the Teen Titans from back like.
Oh, the original one by Puffy.
Yeah. And she was dressed up as Raven in it. He plays the guitar playing it, and she just sings. So I thought he'd like that. I sent him a link to that. So they do a whole bunch of stuff, anime and all that, in different languages too.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, I seen the Raven, the Teen Titans one, and her dressed up as Raven. Dark and Link is a Raven fan, so I figured I'd sit.
Okay, I got a question because I don't know my emojis. I need an emoji expert here, okay? So Eagle43 just threw down an emoji where there's an emoji throwing his hands to the right. What the fuck does that mean?
Okay, it's an elbow cough, like when you go in and cough into your elbow, like the vampire cough. But we use it because it looks like a dab. That's our dab emoji.
Well, okay, what's a dab?
You don't know what a dab is? You know what? Here, I'll go find you an example real quick.
Yeah, I have no clue, man. Fuck.
Yeah, I don't know what most of the emojis stand for either.
I know there's a dab. What's a dab?
That's the one on my screen. That's a dab.
Here, I'm looking on YouTube. I'm gonna have to actually go on the stream.
Yeah, I can just get it. So,
but when you do a dab, what's that supposed to signify? That you're cool or something? That you did something awesome?
Yeah. It's a thing that kids did. It was like I think it started as a Gen Z trend. Either like young millennials, old Gen Z. It was something that started like a few years back. And it's kind of like the Adonis pose, but signified to like looking down, because it's like cool people don't look at explosions. You don't need to be looking at the people. You're just showing off.
Is that from River City Girls?
From River City Girls, I love that game.
Well, I want to buy moves. It's like $40. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Evan. Evan says, tell the old man who doesn't know what dabbing is to face me in Harem Manga Battle. Well, he's only a writer. He doesn't do art.
What the hell is a Harem Manga Battle?
It's the thing that I was talking about, doing a 30-page harem manga, drawing it up. Who can do the best one, basically.
Yeah.
And we've got to what, the 1st of December to get it done?
I just think these terms get
yeah, that's what it needs to be.
It's like watching like the movie Idiocracy, you know what I mean? And like we just come up with these slang terms for everything that just sound like ultimately retarded,
Yeah. Well, he just added the battle. It's a harem manga. He just adds the battle because there's a bunch of us competing and drawing one.
It's like, I like money.
I like money too. We should hang out.
No.
That movie is not a movie anymore. It's now a documentary of our future.
Evan says, are you going to take that from Rick Metal? No, I wasn't talking about metal, and I don't mean anything bad by it, but Larry is a writer. He doesn't draw.
No, well, we kind of say that, but it's not actually true. I just scribbled down some shit and put it in a comic book. Like, I could not write like a novel. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have
a novel.
The vocabulary to articulately describe a scene or a mood. I can write like, Niobe teleports in front of the villain and kicks him in the face. write it screenplay wise, but I couldn't like write it in detail. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna have you imagine everything through just my words alone. You know.
Yeah.
That's why comic book writing was so easy. It's because like, oh, you mean I don't have to be like George R. R. Martin and come up with these elaborate descriptions to set the smell of a room. You know, I could just say, draw some stink in the room. You know, you know.
And when did this happen? When did what happen?
When did I become old? Fuck. Probably around 2010.
Timothy is. It would take me forever to write something.
I think that's why I'm like I got horrible grammar, horrible spelling. I have to have like this chick fucking go over everything, and then she hands it back to me. It's like fucking being in grade school. It's all full of these red marks and corrections and shit. Like, fuck.
Dude, just get Grammarly. It's free.
Yeah, I've tried it, but it misses shit. And it misses things that she catches, you know.
Timothy says, I like doing storyboards and have someone else do the final art for it. Hey, he says he uses Grammarly.
Yeah, I use it too. I'm actually a pretty good proofreader when I go back to things, but you can't proofread your own stuff without there being enough time in between. So what I do initially to make it easier is I'll use Grammarly when I'm first writing on something, and then I'll let it sit so I can hit it with fresh eyes.
Yeah.
But if you don't look at something with fresh eyes, you're not going to catch any of the mistakes that you put in there.
Oh God, no. You know. And I remember when she jumped on board too. It's like, hey, do you have anyone like edit and read your stuff? And I'm like, no, not really. I go, why? She's like, well, I read Niobe #1. There's a few mistakes in there. And I'm like, are you volunteering? She's like, absolutely. And then she's been with us ever since. So.
Well, that's good. Nice of her.
Yeah. Well, she's local here, you know, here in Monkeytown, New Brunswick.
Yeah.
And she does it for free, you know, like, and she does like the cool thing is when she got her start with us. Next thing you know, all the other indie creators in the area started hitting her up, right? So now she edits probably 4 or 5 comics easy, maybe 6, you know, like.
Cool.
Yeah, like what Aragi says, Grammarly plus a professional editor. Because the professional editor is the one that's going to make all the difference. But Grammarly at least is going to make their job easier before they go in.
Yeah, we'll catch all the basic shit and stuff. And then, you know, a lot of times, like, you know, you're writing dialogue. So sometimes the dialogue's in slang, right? And
yeah,
so,
I get that a lot because you have to write in the way that person would talk.
And so Grammarly thinks you're making mistakes and stuff like that, and you know.
Well, what's worse is right now I have a high fantasy story that I'm putting up chapter by chapter on my site, but it's through the perspective of the character. So even not in dialogue in their own thought, a lot of times there's things that I have to intentionally misspell because that's the way the character would think it.
Yeah. Yeah. Even you gotta spell it. He thinks it the way he says it.
Evan Ho says, I don't think the old guy, which is me, is taking this for serious enough. For real? For serious enough?
It's super serial.
It's super serial. It's so serial, it's Captain Crunch cereal, man. It says, I'm going to go get my dueling gloves. Okay.
I don't think it'll help, Evan. I don't think it'll help. But we are like a few minutes over.
A few? We're nearly half an hour over.
Doesn't this happen every time I come on, Rick? I get talking, and next thing you know, like I put you in overtime, like a hockey game.
Hey, I chose to. You came on a bit late in the thing, but I chose to stay on. I could have ended, thing. I didn't mind, keeping conversation going. We probably could still keep it going, but
the chat doesn't mind because they feel Rick's shows are pretty short.
Well, we actually got
but
up,
still short.
When I jumped on here, there was like 8 people. Rick, we gained 4. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, well, 5 actually. We're at 13 according to my counter.
There you go.
But
because you're looking at the restream counter, so that's going to count like Twitch and Discord and everything else.
It doesn't count Discord.
It doesn't show the Discord? No?
No. And I'm not, or I don't think it does. And I don't got Twitch on at night. I don't usually put Twitch on or D-Live. I just do that for the high noon at the moment. Eventually, I think I will incorporate them on at night. But I'm trying to make this something for just there. And I want to start doing some game streaming or whatever.
What kind of games do you want to stream? What kind of system do you have?
Well, just a computer, so like I've got some games to stream and all that. So or Steam.
Yeah. Well, maybe Steam. Maybe we can do a little bit of gaming together, depending on what you picked up, brother.
I've got some of the Batman games. I've been playing a lot of Elder Scrolls Online.
Mm-hmm.
What else do I got? Not a lot. I can't.
Any Blizzard games?
Don't think so. I got what's Age of Empires, but probably not your type of game.
No, God, no. I would love to play Age of Empires. Which one you got? The first one, the second one?
The last. I think Age of Empires 2. I got DC Universe. Although I haven't done it. I got World of Warcraft, Star Wars, The Old Republic.
Yeah.
The free versions of these, mind you, all of them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in Warcraft, you can only go to level 20, free version.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works with Knights of the Old Republic. I used to play a lot of Star Wars Galaxies, like the first Star Wars MMO way back in the day,
Yeah.
And I had like this Twi'lek dancer who then later became a bounty hunter and later became fucking Jedi.
Yeah. I was going to be playing World of Warcraft a lot, but I got the character up to 20, and, unless you're going to be able to raise in the, go further in the levels, it's not worth playing, and I can't afford to,
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this. I played a lot of Warcraft when it first came out. I got a paladin that's level 70, and I got a warrior that's 60, because those were the level caps at the time when I was playing, depending on the expansion. Last expansion I played was Wrath of the Lich King, and I was in a guild, and we were doing raids. We were just sort of like doing 10-man raids, and I was like an off-tank.
Yeah.
It was fun times, but it does suck up a lot of your time, especially if you're doing dungeons and raids and stuff like that,
Yeah. Bullet saying play Final Fantasy 14. Do they have that for free for online?
Yeah, you can play up to level 60 for free now.
I can't get it to load. Like, I tried to download the PC version. I have to fill out all these weird forms and online shit. And I can't figure this out.
You should play Phantasy Star Online 2 instead. The entire game is free.
Dude, I remember Phantasy Star 3 on the Sega Genesis. It was pretty much the only game I played.
That's such a good game.
And you played through 3 generations of characters, and they would marry, and you would have grandkids and shit. And fucking.
Yeah, well, maybe
it was cool, man.
Yeah, dude, I love Phantasy Star, and I was playing a lot of online too. I need to re-download it. I kind of stopped playing when I was working on the manga for the Tezuka contest, because it had a hard deadline of September 1st, and I could not be distracting myself as much as I was. But I need to re-download it and get back to playing it. Phantasy Star Online 2 is amazing.
We have Kickstarter in the chat, and Kickstarter says you'll be hearing from our lawyers.
Yeah, he says, I reported you this street for campaign funds misappropriation. And that is Evan.
I'm going to take a bet it's Evan, yeah. Yeah, hard bet it's Evan.
No, that's the official Kickstarter account. Yeah. They're watching you, Rick.
Yes, you have my permission to use it on Kickstarter, Rick.
Well, Rick, speaking of Kickstarters,
yeah,
I got a link here. I don't know if I'll be able to throw it in your chat, but here, no, it won't let me do it.
Well, if you go into Discord, if you can bring Discord up on your computer and go into
or you can actually just give me the link and I can post it. There's a chat in the meetup.
I'm not going into Discord right now, but I'll say
just go to the meet, just type it in the chat, and I'll just put it in there because I have mod powers.
Oh, how do I put it in the chat here?
Okay, up top.
You see the bar? There's a little.
Yeah. Change layout, full screen, turn captions on. No, that's not what I want. I want way up here. Okay.
Right next to where it says.
There we go. I got it, brothers. I got it.
Okay. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, go ahead, check it out, folks. There's 20 days left. I'm trying to get like 7 more backers to I just got a backer. Sweet. To try and beat my record of 222. So I need 5 more backers to get to 223. Then that would be the most backers I've ever had on a project, Rick.
That is good. So you got what? 9 to beat it?
No, I need 5 more to beat it. 5 more.
Okay. Well,
we just got one as we've been talking.
Oh, that's good. Well,
yeah, we're now at 10,828 Canadian dollars.
Hopefully, early next month, I will be able to have some money to back it. I'm probably going to get...
Rick, you know what? There's going to be lots of opportunities to get the book, brother. I mean, whether it's Kickstarter, whether it's Indiegogo, and when that's all done, any of the extra copies I have left will just go up on my Gumroad store, you know. So.
Yeah.
Don't sweat the small stuff, brother.
Hey, I'm going to try and help you beat that record, of the 23... we're doing fairly good for 10 days in. You know, we've already got funded. We already, beat our record for Bunny Rays from part 1. Now we're working on our 3rd milestone, and that's to get as much, more backers, right? Yeah. And I definitely hope you do that. For sure. Oh. So,
let's see here. Someone's suing Elric for libel.
If that's 100 people, for all we know, that's also Evan. Evan's got a lot of accounts.
I thought Ryzen had a lot of accounts. Fuck.
Elric says multiple people have claimed that you Kickstarter claimed false copyright claim. Elric, I think you're gonna have to go for 100 people now because Kickstarter's gone.
But just remember, though, according to the Wheelers, if you do 200 to 300 copies of a book, no one knows your name, you're a joke, and you're only cute. I'm trying to graduate to sexy. Like, if I sell more than 300, Rick, I figured that would put me up in the next category, and I would be sexy instead of cute. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, what's wrong with being cute? Girls like
Nothing.
Cute, right?
Yeah. Well, and then if you get say 500 and above, you cease becoming sexy and you become hot stuff. Like you're.
Yeah. What do you become?
And if you get to 1,000, you might be on senpai level. Like.
Would you like to hear some moose facts?
All right. As much as you want to use it, right, Jonathan? I think he's just gonna keep. Changing.
Yeah, as long as you know it's Evan, which is fine because Evan has mod on his main one, so if he actually wants to communicate like an adult, he can just come on and not get banned on his mod-approved one.
Well, I'll tell you, I got a club on my channel. They're called the BWK, and it stands for the Blue Wrench Crew. So if you have a blue wrench on my channel, you have the power. It's like Uncle Ben, right? With great power comes great responsibility. Wield the wrench wisely. So yeah, we have the BWK, the Blue Wrench Crew, on Rebel Gaming, and I'm actually going to go live here when I'm done with you boys. I figure I'm going to go on and chill my book a little bit, maybe do a little gaming or something. So hop on over to Rebel Gaming, and chill with me when you got your fix with Rick.
Do you got a link to your channel? Do you got a link to your channel on YouTube?
Yeah.
Maybe Metal can put
I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers. I'm at 484 right now. I get that big 5-0, Rick. Then I'll be like halfway to super chat money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Astronaut Evans says, I just got back from my 5-year journey. Was it aboard the Starship Enterprise, Astronaut Evans?
It's a 5-year mission to explore strange new worlds, seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before. No. I've been watching this weird fan-made series on TV, not on TV, but on YouTube called Star Trek Continues.
Yeah,
oh shoot! I actually had just found it before you put it into the chat.
And it's got Vic Mignogna as the star, right? And so Vic Mignogna was the Kick Vic guy that was like the Dragon Ball Z actor that got canceled, right?
No, Vic is great.
Yeah, well, he's actually a pretty decent Captain Kirk. You know what I mean? Like he plays Captain Kirk in the Star Trek Continues, and it's just like the '60s series sort of continuing, right? So it's like the old set and the old costumes and the 1960s style. It's a riot, man. There's only like 12.
Yeah, he captures the mannerisms really well.
Oh yeah, the whole voice and the like you said, the mannerisms and just the everything, man. It's hilarious.
Okay, so
hilarious.
Yeah, he's a better Edward Elric. Well, he's the only Edward Elric, okay? Even like in Japan, as much as they like the original dub actor, everybody likes Vic more.
I got kicked out of a fucking con. I got banned for life because I stuck up for Vic, man. Like it's ridiculous, you know?
Yeah, I remember we talked about that.
And one, I believe you said you helped start, or sort of helped start.
What's that, brother?
That's one near you that I believe you said you sort of helped start too.
I'm not sure what you're saying. Upstart? Help start?
No,
what?
Help start. Help start.
Help start what?
The con near you.
Well, that's the second con, and they sort of followed suit with the main con. So what monkey see, monkey do, right? So when one con says we don't want you anymore, everyone just then assumes you're like the black sheep and just doesn't invite you to things and include you. You know.
Well, could you just sign up for them whether they liked it or
not? No, they told me no. They said no, you got too much heat on you. And that was pre-COVID, right? And then COVID happened, so no cons happened this year. So I've been out of convention scene for 2 years now, you know?
Yeah, and then you had...
And so now,
you were going to be coming to the one here in Ontario, in Kitchener.
I'm still considering it. Yeah. I mean, if they still have me, that's not going to be until May of 2021. So lots of time to see what happens for that, you know?
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this, I don't really care about, like, physical conventions anymore. Like I don't. Like I've been out of the loop now for 2 years, and conventions I find are very left leaning, you know. Yeah. And chances are, if I just go to a con, it's just going to be a recipe for trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I know with you going to that, I was hoping that you'd be going to that one because I was going to come.
Well, I might go to that one because that one actually had Vic as a guest, and they had Nick Rekieta, so they obviously don't care about following what the left. What the extreme left sort of wants in their conventions, you know, because if they did, they certainly would never have invited Vic or Nick Rekieta. So that one could be a possibility, but and in general, well, and that would get you drunk. But in reality, like a lot of these people are saying, like, I miss conventions and I miss going to conventions and I wish I could do conventions. I don't give a fuck. You know, like I make more money sitting at home. It's like Ethan said, I make more money sitting at home selling my hot dogs, you know, like.
Yeah.
And he's right. You know, you go to these shows, you sit behind a table, you're like a dog just begging for food for someone to come by and even look or talk to you. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I know I went to one in LA, the Christian Comic-Con. It wasn't so bad. I got a lot more probably attention there. Well, I probably got about the same amount of attention. And as I did
John says Oh, sorry, Rick. Go ahead.
That's first of all, that's not John. That's Evan.
That's Evan.
Oh. Jesus, I can't keep up, man. I can't keep up.
It says Dillard vapes. He was making fun of John when he just started vaping.
Okay.
But yeah, I probably got about the same amount of attention at a con with about 200 people, 250 people compared to, a con that had probably 8 or 10,000 people at it. Which is, a little crazy.
Dillard Vape says he created the buckler.
Or something.
Half this chat is just Evan. Yeah, no shit, right? Like,
You gotta remember, my chat loves to troll me and anybody who comes on my channel. But in a good way. They're just trying to have fun.
Well, Rick, I'll tell you this. I'm going to vacate because I know you're trying to end this anyway. We're 40 minutes over time.
He says you can't prove anything.
But thanks for having me around, dudes. Like I said, I saw a link. I thought I'd come on and shoot the breeze and keep Rick up past his bedtime.
Yeah, anytime.
But if you're bored, I'm gonna jump on live here in probably about 20 minutes. So that is it. That is all. Metal, always good to speak to you as well, good sir.
Oh yeah, likewise.
And he's
all right, brothers.
Larry's already promoted.
Stay strong, stay sexy. We'll talk to you soon.
And it's time for Evan to, not Evan, Metal to promote.
Well, unless Evan wants to come on and promote my stuff for me, I would always take the hand. Evan's got a really good voice for promoting. But in the meantime, go over to xtimeischaos.com, where I've been adding a lot of stuff lately. It's been a little slow because of the manga that I was working on all summer, but I have been rolling things out, including a chapter I did recently. We have an image for one of the character bios up today too, so I'm always adding stuff. Lots to engage with. And please, leave a comment. Nobody comments. I get lots of views, some shares too, but nobody ever comments. I like the interaction. It's fun.
And thanks everybody for coming on. Metal, Larry, if you're still listening, thanks for everybody out in the chat coming by and participating. It's been fun. Of course, I will be back tomorrow afternoon, Eastern Standard Time for high noon. We'll catch you then. I'll probably be doing a 9x12 for somebody. Okay, bye for now, everybody. God bless. Have a great and wonderful night or day or whatever it might be for you.